All right, again, let's just breathe together for a moment and come into our bodies before I start talking about anything or we start doing more practices. So remembering the principles of movement, of breath, of sound. So just coming into your body. If you can move, if you're sitting, to just start moving. This hip movement is always so great, right? Letting the core move, kind of that rolling of the spine, the undulating of the body, right? That's the feminine, and that's kind of what we opened up to in the last video, is that gorgeous snake-like dance, the Shakti, if you will, and just how it's a flow. Right? It's not a rigid, hard type of movement. It's this dance. We're going to talk about the dance in this video. So in this final session, I want us to really open up, and I want to create a space for us to really feel into how the masculine dances with the feminine within. So how these two polarities, or some people say opposite energies, and I think opposite is a good way of saying it when we look at magnets and when we're looking at that polarization. So in one of the videos, I think it was our session 4, I was talking about when one person, so let's just talk about two individuals, when one person is in the feminine and the other is in the masculine, there's this polarity between the two. So when we think about opposites and you think about the magnets, when there are two who are positive, or let's say two who are standing in the masculine, there's not a whole lot of sexual attraction there, right? There can be teamwork and there can be moving towards a common goal, but there's not the I want to get naked with you and I want to dance with you and I'm feeling full, I'm feeling fulfilled by you. So if we think about this external energy and now think about that as an internal energy, this is what we're going to do in this episode, and why it's so important is many reasons, but a few, I'll give you 3. One is when these two energies within us are operating in this smooth, beautiful dance, when the feminine within us is honoring, trusting, loving the masculine within us, that sets us up for our external relationships to have that dynamic. I remember when I first came to this deep diving work, right? And it was when I first started really working with shamanic practices. And the teacher said to me, Sabrina, you will never, ever have the type of relationship that you're looking for until you look at these places within. I thought, okay, I kind of get that. Oh, I absolutely understand that now. And the reason being is these deeper places within hold some of that unconscious distrust of the masculine, right? Some of that wounded rage or grief towards the masculine. And on a surface level, as women, I want to connect with the masculine. When I'm standing in my feminine, I want to connect. We want to be in relationship. This is the feminine thing. This is the reason why we love watching love movies and love stories and soap operas. We love that, fills us, right? That connection, it fills us, and we want to be filled. We want to be full. We like to, some of us, other expressions of the feminine can be, we like to eat, right? We love to eat chocolate because it's filling us. we like to go shopping because it's filling our closets. We can feel the different textures, and we want to see what it looks like. And shoes, shoes are great. So as the feminine, we want to, when we're in our feminine, we want to connect. I want to just have conversation with you. And there's a reason why when women get together and we're in our feminine, we're chatty, we're connecting, we're feeling in. That's just innate nature, authentic expression of the feminine, and that fills us and that enlivens us, and it's beautiful. Now, when we're with the masculine and we're wanting to be filled and be full, it's a level of trust is required to allow that energy to fill us. Does that make sense? To allow the masculine light to fill us. And you can think about that from a sex perspective, to allow the energy that comes from a man's penis to fill us. Not just, I feel full in my yoni, which, yes, that's pleasurable and that's wonderful, but energetically and tantrically, when we start to, we are full, right? It's not just that my vagina feels full and happy, right? Like the energy, when these lines open, the energy fills your whole body, and your whole being is opened and pushes us into more of the feminine, which is pure love, pure bliss, pure joy, pure ecstasy. That's the feminine expression, is life force itself. There's no thought. It's literally this open feeling, ecstatic. I'm just bliss. I'm just love. I am in love with that tree. I'm in love with that person. I'm in love with this man that I'm with. I'm in love with my body. I'm in love with, I'm love, right? I'm radiant. And you've seen these women, they exude love and bliss. Like, you can see a woman, so when she walks and her hips, they just roll. Her whole body is just, it's alive, right? She goes to grab a cup of coffee, and it's like this love making with the coffee. Right? And that is it. So a Lolita practice that we're going to do in this episode is making love with the world. How does the air feel on our skin? Can we make love with the air and with the ground beneath us? Can I feel this fabric that's touching me? And can I make love to this fabric, right? There's this dance. And we can do it with, I started this practice when I was in my 20s with a tree. And I remember having this experience. This might sound so crazy and out there to you, but I remember having this experience with a tree where it was just a meditation, and I was just simply opening. And I was just in this state of making love with the environment. And it happened to be this tree that represented to me this strong, like beautiful, like sacred, solid energy. And I remember I was fully clothed, and I was just kind of breathing and dancing with this tree, and it was just about dusk, right, where it's like that magic, the witching hour. So there's that magic is in the air, and it's dusk, and I'm with this tree in the middle of nowhere, just in absolute bliss and pleasure and joy. And I remember in that moment feeling, I feel more held by this tree than I've ever felt by a man. Isn't that wild? That's wild. But I felt safer. I felt more open. I had surrendered more. I had allowed myself to be vulnerable, to be open, to be felt, to be seen more with this tree than I had with a man. And it was such a beautiful feeling to just feel my whole being was held. I was held in my fullness, in my truth. Every bit of my being was held. My wild bits, right? My icky bits, my growly bits, my crying, grieving bits. All of my bits felt like they were held. Now that's the energy of the divine masculine, right? Is the energy of consciousness itself, is the that holding that I'm talking about, right? So in some of the mythologies, back to a little bit of mythology, and Kali is a great example. There are a lot of symbology actually, and a lot of statues of Kali and paintings of Kali have Shiva lying underneath her. And it's such a great symbolism of, and Shiva is a divine masculine essence or archetype that we're going to work with today. Yes, that's right, Shiva and Lalita. I know, this is going to get good. Okay, so, but Shiva has many consorts, right? So he teams up with Lalita, he teams up with Parvati, he teams up with Kali, and it's just stories. But anyways, in the myth, Shiva is what is holding the allness of Kali. And one of the stories, Kali goes into one of her like fierce, she was demon slaying, and she goes into this like wild, ferocious dance, which is threatening to destroy the entire world. And in her ferocity, Shiva just lies on the ground and just holds that entire space for her. And what happens is that's what brings her out of her Kali-esque wild rage that she was in. And it was literally just that divine masculine essence that's holding the all. Yeah? Now, relating this back to the tree, and why I share this is because I wasn't in a relationship at the time, and the relationships that I had up to that time were not fulfilling. You've probably heard my story, so I'm not going to repeat it here, but I didn't feel met on the level, and I kept saying to all of my partners, I need more. Have you said that? Or have you felt that, right? I need more. I don't know what it is that I need. I need more. And I know that there's more to relationship. I know there's more to connecting to you. I know there's more to sex. I need more. And there's a reason we feel like that. It's not that he's not enough, or it's not that we're not enough. It's that deep we know that there is more. And it's like the soul has this craving, and the craving won't stop because the soul is working to inspire you to do what it is that needs to be done to get there. And if that craving isn't there, if that uncomfortableness isn't there, if that longing for more in relationship, the longing for more in sex, the longing for more in life. So this is the other aspect that we're going to talk about. If that longing isn't there, we won't make that change. So it's literally like the soul's gift to us by saying, I'm going to make you uncomfortable. I'm going to make you want more because there is more. So it's an inspiration to us. Now, I don't want, I want to really own the fact that, and to really make this so clear that when we shift that which is inside of us, so the dance of the masculine and the feminine inside of us, it will automatically shift that which is in our outer world. Yeah, how good is this? So you might be in a long-term marriage, 20 years, and you're not feeling met. You have the longing. When you start doing this work, and you start opening up to these places within, it happens for him. It happens for him. And there's more about this in the interview that I do with Daniel Swelu, and it's beautiful to hear a man talk about it. So it's beautiful to hear it from a man's perspective. And it's beautiful to hear how he says, when a woman starts to reclaim her fullness, it's an invitation for her man. And it's also an initiation for her man. We are brilliant initiators. Every single woman on this planet, you included, regardless of how much you've been doing this work, you are a brilliant initiator. So when, and it's not in the, there's not a doing thing. It's not like you need to know how to initiate your man. It's not like that. It energetically happens. We innately have this gift. Our energetic system has this gift to give others, right? It's the ripple effect. We can't help it. we can't help it, right? So when we start to shift and change this relationship in ourselves, if you're in a relationship, it will shift and change that in the relationship, in the man or the woman that you're with. It shifts it. It invites them. It invites them. And there are certain instances where they may make the choice to not go there, right? But more often than not, it's a relief to them because it's an opening and awakening to them, and it's a fuller way of being. It's bringing them into their fullness as well. So I know I said that there were 3 aspects to talk about. One was if you're in relationship and what working on this inside of self can do if you're in relationship. The other is if you're single and you're not in relationship, and whether you want to be in relationship or not, doing this will shift. So let's just look at the component of if you're longing for relationship. It will shift your energetic resonance, how you relate to the masculine, right? Because every single person knows everything that you think. How about them apples, huh? So that's a pretty wild thing to wrap your mind around. My deepest feelings towards the masculine, he knows it. How conscious he is of it is a different story. But if I have this tape playing in me that I don't really trust the masculine, I don't really, deep down, right? Like on the surface level, oh yeah, it's good. I've got a lot of love for the masculine. But if deep down there's a distrust, he knows it. They know it. We all know everything. We're just not conscious of it, right? So on a deep energetic level, we already know what you're we already know that what's going on. So he knows what's going on. And when we're coming into partnership, that man who comes into partnership with a woman who has this deep distrust of the masculine, he has to match that energy. It's a resonance. That you won't come into partnership unless there's a resonance there, unless he's okay with that, right? That just is the way that it is. Unless it's one of those like teacher initiatory type relationships. Because I will definitely say that there are some exceptions around that. But more often than not, when we're coming in, you're attracting that which is on the same par as you. So he probably has that much distrust in the feminine, right? If you've got this distrust in the masculine, he probably has that much distrust in the feminine. So he's not quite willing to be present and Shiva-like for your Kali outburst, right? He might be doing the runner, or he might do the backlash, which is not the divine expression of the masculine, right? That's the distorted expression of the divine masculine. So when we're longing, and there's more on this in the interview with Daniel, when we're longing and we're wanting to come into relationship, when these energies in us dance, we then shift our resonance, our vibration, so that we don't attract the dickhead, right? We attract the man who respects the feminine because we have developed this healthy, beautiful respect and love for the masculine. Yeah? Okay. Now, for women who have no interest in being in a relationship, and that there are definitely women who just, I don't have any interest in being in a relationship. That is fun. That's beautiful. It's a beautiful choice, and it's a beautiful choice that we have that choice now. Sorry, that sun is shining right on me. All right, let me try and fix that for you. Maybe I can fix it. How's that? Oh, that's not good, is it? Okay, we'll just go with this. I just look like I'm beaming, like my heart chakra is just really radiating light. I think it is, actually. But this just really enhances the look of it. I love it. Okay, so for the women who aren't necessarily longing for a relationship or wanting to attract a man into their world, I want to talk about the dance within. And even if you're not looking to attract a significant other, all of the relationships in your world will change. Relationship to your father, brother, mother, relationship to women will change. Your relationship to all of that which is masculine in our society will change. It doesn't mean that we don't get to be pissed off at things, because there are a lot of things in our society that are certainly not stinking right. There's a lot of patriarchal structures that are not right and do need to be changed. There's a lot of corruption. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about we come from a place, so we can still have this rage or this roar, but we come from a place of I'm heart connected. And I don't accept what you're doing because it's not your highest truth, right? So I'm talking specifically about masculine things. I don't accept what you're doing because it's not a divine expression of your energy. Kali's sword, right? And it comes out, it's clean, it's crisp. You're speaking your truth. You're able to stand in your truth and come from your core power, right? So all of that's coming out. You're coming from your core power. You're not accepting anything less than their highest expression. But until we work through it in ourselves, we don't know what that highest expression is. We don't know. So often we're carrying around this old rubble, the old rubble that's clogging up these lines so that we don't come into this beautiful dance, which we're going to open up to very, very soon. The final point that I want to talk about is why we go in, why we want to work in this way, is the alignment with our soul's path, the alignment with our passions, the alignment with our unique purpose, our unique expression in this life. So opening up to the feminine, that's only half of the story. We are both. Every person on this planet is both. And we're in this amazing time where we are actually able to embrace the full spectrum of human experience. And we're being called to do that. Our fullness comes from that full expression. Now, that doesn't mean that I have to act in the world in my masculine. It doesn't mean that. You may be a woman who loves and wants to be in your feminine all of the time. That's beautiful and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But to have the choice to move fluidly through all of these different expressions, that's empowerment. That's empowerment because you have the choice to. It's not that I'm forced to just stand here and mother. It's pretty limiting, right? It's pretty limiting. I just stand here in the mother, the face of the mother, and this is the only expression that I have. When there's this expression of the feminine, and then there's this expression of the feminine, and then there's that expression of the divine masculine, and then there's the warrior expression of the divine masculine. So now we have this full range, right? And what comes from this full range, it is our ability to manifest. Yeah, not like the vision board foo-foo la-la manifesting where you've got the freaking house on the water up on this vision board for 7, 8, 9, 10 years and things just not happening. It's authentic ability to create in this world. It's our innate way of creating. It's infusing our intuitive, creative, very feminine nature. It's infusing that with the make shit happen masculine nature. Right? Do you see what I'm saying here? Yeah? So it's the feminine side where I am fully aligned. I am open to my intuition. I am feeling into the full flow of the world. Right? I am open to my body wisdom. I'm open to my feminine wisdom. I'm open to all of my senses, which is far beyond just the 5, right? I'm open to all of this, right? I'm tapped into the universal, yeah? So I've got life force running through me. I'm incredibly connected to the cyclical nature of things and the flow, right? So I can feel moment by moment by moment by moment because everything changes moment by moment by moment by moment by moment. I can feel into that, right? But if I want to make something physically happen in the world, right, I need to be both. So I'm here, I'm connected, and then this is, I make this decision and I take this action because I'm feeling, right? I'm getting the hits, I'm getting the intuition. I've got life force behind me. I've got the energetics behind me. I'm in line with all, right? With all of this. And then I can make it happen. Yeah? Are you feeling this, right? So the masculine, like there are brilliant faces of the masculine. So we've got 5 faces of the feminine, there are faces of the masculine, right? There's the medicine man. There's the warrior, right? Mars energy. This is a beautiful energy for us to have. And again, it's about purifying. Now, we're not going to purify masculine archetype. We're not going to go into the rubble. You might feel it already, though. So it might be already bubbling. So for us women, we have just as much work to do with the masculine as we do with the feminine. Just as much. And when we work with the masculine, it takes us to those deeper realms of how do I really feel about the masculine? How do I really feel about Mars, the warrior, the god of war? What is my relationship to the god of war? Right? Can I get to a divine relationship with the god of war? Do you see what I'm saying here? Shiva, there's always a divine expression and the distorted expression. So even Shiva, which we'll invoke in a bit, even Shiva has a distorted expression. And the Shiva, right, because Shiva's the meditating. There's a lot of faces to Shiva. So similar to Kali, it's a big archetype and there's a lot of faces. But Shiva is pretty typically known for this really high, he's a yogi, right? So this really high, very enlightened kind of masculine spiritual energy is linked to Shiva, the stillness, right? So Shiva's stillness. And a lot of meditations where we're taught stillness are masculine meditations. A lot of old spiritual lineages only honor the masculine, right? And that's the transcending. That's the transcending. I want to open up my upper chakras. I want to transcend the feminine is really what, and I don't need to get on a soapbox about all of this, but that stuff is disregarding of the life force that runs through us and all of this, right? So so the shadow face or the distorted face of Shiva is the guy who does the runner when life itself gets wild, right? So when a woman is exuding life energy, right? We've got like a tornado going on, and he comes home and he's like, oh, I'm out. I'm going to the pub to drink a bunch of beers so I can escape out of here, right? That's the masculine. They want to get to the stillness, and the kind of lower expressions of that is zoning out watching TV, because it's one thing. It's like it's nothing. It's like the void is what they're going for. The meditations into the void are the high expression of the masculine energy, but some of the lower, higher, we're just going to go with that. You think you understand what I'm saying. But the lower expressions is zoning out and just watching a football game, right? It's just, there's nothing else. Or drinking beers to escape into void, right? So that's some of the unhealed expressions of the masculine, and there's a whole lot there. And I share this with you partially because I want you to know the journey's not done, right? Like, we've only gone into 4 faces or 4 archetypal energies, and like I said, we work with like 40 at ReWilding. So I just want you to know where this can take you to next, not even necessarily with ReWilding, but to know, and you'll feel it, right? So it's that feeling. You'll feel like, I really want to do some work in this sacred marriage arena. And unless you have the most glorious sex life and the most glorious relationship going on, there's work to do there, right? And unless you're totally aligned with your soul's path, your highest path, your unique expression, there's work to do. There's work to do in the archetypal realm. If making money isn't happening for you, there's definitely work to do in this dance of the masculine feminine. Or if you're making money but you don't love your job, there's definitely work to do there. So what happens when we open up to both of these, right, is that we've got the ability we love what we're doing because we're aligned with our passion, we're aligned with our creative nature. By the way, creative nature is absolutely everything. It's not painter or author. It doesn't have to be that. I say creative nature because that's just our passion, right? It aligns with our passion, our unique expression of self. So when we have that going on and we're able to make money from it, because that's a rather masculine thing, that's the balance, right? And who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want to have abundance for doing what we love and what we're here to do? That's fulfillment, right? That's and it's not just about making money, right? I'm not saying that. That is about me. It's us finding fulfillment and us being in this world, right? That's the feminine is here. It's coming to a place of, I want to be here. I want to be human. I think so many of us who start opening up on the spiritual path, I know I was there when I started opening up, and it was like, this human experience thing, God, this is a bugger. I would much rather be up there. But when we come to this place of loving, this is what the feminine, part of what the feminine gift is it's love. I'm in love with everything, right? I'm in love with life itself. I'm here. I love being here. And I am just as connected, just as spiritually connected as anybody who has done the transcendent, I am more, I am more, I am more full, I am more alive, I'm more awake, I am more aligned with the divine, because I'm embodying it, right? It's coming here and here, right? It's both. It's all. Okay, so I think we need to dive into, just checking time for us. Let's dive into some practices. Yeah. And let's do this, let's do Shiva Lalita, like I promised. So I really want to invoke and invite the essence of Shiva to come in. And we'll invite the essence of, again, remember there's those multiple faces of Shiva. So what we're going to invite in is the yogic expression of Shiva, the very still Shiva, the Shiva that is like the all-pervading presence, right? So this is one of the most glorious forms of the masculine that can shift almost everything for us as the feminine. It is one of the most healing energies that there is because of the holding. So back to kind of that tree story that I told you about, being seen, being held in your allness is so healing. It's full acceptance for every single part of you, every aspect of you to be touched, every single cell in your being to be touched and seen and witnessed and held by this divine light, this love, right? It's a still love. It's a holding love. It's I enjoy witnessing you love. I enjoy seeing life force run through you love. I love your tornadoes. I love your storm. I love your chaos. I love your bright sunny sky. I love every emotion that you have because it is simply life force itself running through you. And to me, as Shiva, it is the most beautiful thing that I can witness. It is what I long to hold. It is what I long to see. Now from this place, we're gonna just go up a bit. So if you just imagine or tune into the space above your crown, so the space above your head, right? And this is an invitation. It's an invitation for that glorious, that high vibration, that pure masculine essence, that pure masculine light to come in through the crown. And you can use your breath to help. And you'll notice there is such a stillness here. Your body may want to straighten. And you just invite that brilliant, pure, still, a very radiant light in. Just allow it to come down. You might feel it as a piercing white light that comes in through your crown, and it pierces the center of your being. So you might feel it, that same river of life that we've talked about. It's just piercing that central channel. You can use your breath to help bring it down. I like to use the inhale to bring it further and further down into my being. All the way down through all of the chakras. And when you get to the first chakra, just staying there for a moment and just noticing, what does this pure, divine, white light do to the base, to your base, to that root chakra? What is it? What is happening in your body? Do you feel something start to stir? Right? Do you feel any movement? Even if it's subtle. What's the reaction happening for you? Just noticing the reaction. And noticing if your body wants to move or if it wants to do something. And just letting. Feeling. Is there an opening happening? Is there an opening? What is that opening? Is there almost like a lovemaking that's happening? Has Shiva stirred anything in you? Staying focused on the base of the spine. Is there an uncoiling that's happening, or an unfolding, or an unfurling? Is anything being ignited in your body? Is there any bliss, or is there any pleasure to be felt? Even if it's a tiny bit, even if it's not much reaction, even if it's so subtle, just feeling whatever's happening for you. And letting him stir. It's like he's inviting her onto the dance floor. And the question here is, can you say yes? Can you say yes to being seen on the dance floor? Can you say yes to opening? Can you say yes? Can you take his hand? It's a yes, that's all it is. It's a yes, it's an opening, it's a yes. Can you say yes? Can you say yes in the first chakra? Can you open there? Can you say yes in the second chakra? Can you open your hips? Can you open your pelvis to the fullness of this? Can you allow this light to crack you open and infuse you? Can you say yes in the third chakra, in the power center? What does your body want to do in order to say yes? Can you say yes there? Trusting your body again, trusting your breath, trusting your sound, trusting your movement. This is the body. Your body knows how to do this. Oh, can you say yes in your heart? Can you say yes? Can you say yes in your heart? Can you say yes? Can you say yes? It's like saying yes to the fullness of love, to even more love than you've ever experienced. Can you say yes? Coming up, can you say yes in your throat? Can there be a yes? And then coming up to the sixth chakra. Can there be a yes here? A yes to the opening, a yes to seeing more, a yes to knowing more, a yes to even joy up there. And then, can you say yes to the enlivening out of the crown and up, back, up? To the union, to the dance of the two. And then it's almost as if you feel the gifts of what this union brings. All right, can you say yes to the gift? Can you say yes to the union? Staying in this for a moment. Staying in the energetics of that union. Taking notice. How does your body feel? How does your heart feel? How do you feel? What's happening for you? Has this stirred up anything for you? So starting to come back into the room that you're in, starting to come back into your body. Oh, and I want to talk, and I want to hold some space for us before we end. So we have a couple of minutes together. And I want to share with you that it's been a really a gift for me to be able to do this with you, and on such a beautiful experience as well. So I want to thank you. Yeah, I really want to thank you for trusting, for opening, for allowing, for being seen, for the things that you've shared with me, both energetically and in other ways, and just a real honoring of you. And I want to honor whatever place that you're in now, whatever's happening for you, life. I want to honor that and bear witness to not just what's happening for you physically, but what's happening for you energetically. This is big stuff, big energies. And our bodies and our beings will open up in the divine time that they open up. And there is such a perfection to this unfolding that I want to talk about that. Everything that's happened for you over the course of this retreat has unfolded in the exact and perfect way that it was meant to. Everything. How you're feeling in this moment is perfect. Whatever it is. That last exercise may have stirred up so much for you. And you may be feeling a variety of things, a multitude of things. There could be grief, there could be rage, there could be confusion. It could bring up a lot of different things for you. And then on the flip side, it could bring up pure love and bliss and ecstasy and insights that you maybe have never had before. We're all at very different places in our growth, in our evolution, in our openness, right? In our level of consciousness, I suppose. I don't necessarily like saying that, but so just know that wherever you're at, it is a gift and it is an insight and it's showing you and it's awakening, unfolding, opening, healing you in the perfect way that it's meant to. I want to close with the fact that you are so held. And this gorgeous circle that we've created and this beautiful connection that you and I have is sacred. And there is something to it. And it's something that you can call on anytime that it feels right. Anytime that it feels right. You can call on the energy of the circle that we're in, the energy of this powerful vortex. You can call on the energy of the divine feminine, the divine masculine. You can call on the connection between you and I whenever it feels right to do that. If it feels right to do that. So just know that you're held. This isn't the end, right? This is probably the beginning for a lot of you, right? It's not the end until they put us 6 feet under. There's more opening and there's more awakening, and I can say that it gets to be so insanely blissful. So if this is just the start of your journey and you're saying, wow, I've never opened up to these archetypal energies and this was challenging, or whoa, this was full on, or even I didn't really get a whole lot, I promise you that the more of this type of work that you do, the more we become refined and we come into this alignment with our authentic self, who I am, with the alignment with my purpose. Like, what is it that only I can uniquely give to this world? What is it that only I can uniquely express? How is it that only I can uniquely express in this world? Because you are unique, and there is a gift in you. There's a lot of gifts in you. And it doesn't translate into a career or the tangible making of something always. It is just your fullness and the full, most open, most loving, most divine expression of you. And that's where this journey takes us. That's where rewilding takes us. Yeah. So, I think for most of us, this is just the start. This is the start, or this is the middle of our unfolding, right? And I want to leave you with the encouragement to continue to follow the intuition, follow the voice of the soul, follow the little threads. We don't get to see the whole picture, right? It's just one little thing at a time. And then once I get here, I can see the next thing, and then I can go here, and then I get the next insight, and then I can go here. To really start to trust that, and to live from that place, and to not be afraid of the fullness of you, right? To not feel like you're too much. So many women, we feel like we're too much. I'm too emotional. I'm too much. We're labeled crazy, right? That's just our authentic feminine nature. As you've seen with the faces that we've worked with, you're not too much. Nothing in you is too much. It's held. That divine masculine holds it. The divine feminine loves it, right? In rewilding, we hold it, we honor it, we witness it. Yeah. I think it feels right to leave us there, and to just let you know one last time that this has been amazing for me, and I thank you, because without you, this wouldn't have been created. This was a co-creation, right? Without you, I wouldn't have done this, and I've loved it. So huge gratitude to you, and huge love to you, and big, big, big blessings on this journey, on your beautiful, unique, glorious journey of opening, unfolding, and awakening. And I'd love to see you wherever, the Facebook group, in a retreat, in a workshop, live or online. I would love to see you wherever. It doesn't matter. But yeah, thank you. And big, massive love to you.